I wanted power. They sought destruction.
But why stoop to terrorism?
I wanted absolute power.
But you're the president. You have power.
No, I'm just a figurehead.
Huh?
I don't have any control. The real power is in the Patriots' hands.
The Patriots?
The truth behind this country. I'm not surprised you've never heard of them. Very few are aware of their existence, even among those with code word clearance.
Huh?
Politics, the military, the economy, they control it all. They even choose who becomes president. Putting it simply, the Patriots rule this country.
No.
Hard to believe, isn't it? But it's the truth. The space defense, income tax reduction, and national missile defense programs. Every policy that's been credited to me was actually done according to their instructions.
Space defense was initiated by Congress.
That's what the Patriots want the country to believe. It's all a show. Democracy is just a filler for textbooks. Think about it. Do you actually believe that public opinion influences the government?
No.
This country is shaped and controlled as the Patriots see fit. The people are shown what they want to believe. What you call government is actually a well-staged production aimed at satisfying the public.
Huh?
Don't look at me like that. I'm legally sane, you know.
It's not your sanity that worries me.
Welcome back, travelers. Today we're diving into the chilling parallels between Hideo Kojima's Metal Gear Solid series and the idea of shadow government in our real world. This isn't just a video game story. This is about control, information, and power, and how the more you dig, the less free you realize you might actually be. Let's talk about it. Who really runs the world? Is it presidents, kings, or prime ministers? Or is it something far darker, a hidden hand that pulls the strings from the shadows? Metal Gear warned us decades ago. Maybe we weren't paying attention.
The Patriots. Even I don't know who the actual members are. Are they financial, political, or military leaders? No one knows who the Patriots really are. Even my instructions come from a cutout. All I've been told is that every key decision is made by a group of 12 men, known as the Wise Men's Committee.
Your office? The White House?
Merely puppets, pawns in a game. By pledging my loyalty, an insignificant son of a senator was awarded the presidency. Of course, that wasn't the only price I had to pay.
What do you mean?
Even if a pawn becomes a queen, it is still just a playing piece. I wanted to leave my own mark in history, but my ambitions were... You'll understand someday.
In Metal Gear Solid 2, released in 2001, we learn about the Patriots, an invisible organization that secretly controls America. They operate beyond the president, beyond elections, beyond democracy. President Johnson's confession, he admits he's just a figurehead, a puppet with no real power.
I wished to be a member of the Patriots. I wanted to wield the power of a king instead of being an expendable pawn.
And that justifies acts of terrorism?
Yes. I'd intended to use the new Metal Gear as a bargaining chip.
Bargaining chip?
Even if it means the destruction of the world.
What are you saying?
Whether you believe it or not, the balance of power rests in the hands of the Patriots. They regulate the country's various interests through controlled presentation, staging a drama that is palatable to the general masses. Can you imagine what would happen if they ceased to function? Picture a massive political vacuum. A space that every powermonger will try to fill for their own greedy ends. I'm talking about an unregulated power struggle, panic, civil war, chaos. Like it or not, the Patriots is an organization that must continue to exist.
So you changed your mind because you wanted to avoid global chaos.
Exactly.
It's crazy to think this about the highest office in the land. Just a mask for a machine behind it. Do you believe that the real-world leaders are truly in control? Or are they actors reading from a script? Hit the comments below and let us know.
My predecessor, George Sears. That was the name the public came to know him by. I knew him by his code name, Solidus Snake. He was the third snake, preceded by Solid and Liquid, a survivor of the Les Enfants Terribles project. Neither solid nor liquid, he was a well-balanced masterpiece that the Patriots saw fit to entrust with the presidency. However, he fell out of grace with the organization 4 years ago. When acting on his own, he started an incident.
4 years ago? I thought he resigned.
That's the story given to the general public. Following his resignation, the Patriots selected me, their new pawn, for the presidency.
But that would mean that the presidential race was...
That was quite a show, wasn't it? It was a well-scripted drama staged by the Patriots for the benefit of the public. Even the Democrats and Republicans were dancing to the Patriots' tune.
Kojima in 2001 was already hinting at algorithms, data control, and the manipulation of truth. I mean, heck, he even discusses something that we know now today as echo chambers. It seems like this guy he's literally the Nostradamus of our age or something. It's crazy. Or could it be potentially that the rest of the world has always known what America is now coming to realize about itself? What do you think about that? Hit the comments below. The Patriots didn't need soldiers to control the world. They needed information. And in a dark age, whomever controls the flow of data controls reality itself. Big tech, social media algorithms, surveillance states, data brokers, how governments outsource their corruption or how governments outsource their power is unseen to us. It's part of a system that we don't understand, but they completely understand. This isn't just science fiction. Throughout history, the idea of shadow governments have haunted us. The Illuminati myths, the secret societies of the Skull and Bones, the corporate influence of Washington, the intelligence agencies operating above oversight. Even Eisenhower warned us in 1961 about the military-industrial complex.
We have been compelled to create a permanent armaments industry of vast proportions. Added to this, 3.5 million men and women are directly engaged in the defense establishment. We annually spend on military security alone more than the net income of all United States corporations. Now, this conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry is new in the American experience. The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes. We should take nothing for granted. Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry can compel the proper meshing of the huge industrial and military machinery of defense with our peaceful methods and goals, so that security and liberty may prosper together.
An invisible system of power that could overgrow and overtake democracy itself. If people we elect are powerless, then who really governs us? Ask yourself that question and hit the comments below with your thoughts. It's really important that we have dialogue. This is not just a video that I want folks to look and watch or be entertained by. I want us to really build and to discuss this. This is very important for us to have open dialogue on both sides, on any side. I'm not well versed in this, but I do have a desire to want to know information. And I think there are people out in this world whom we can share information between us and get to know things. I mean, think about it. We live in the golden age of AI, the golden age of technology. This is something we've never had before. We have the opportunity to open up all of the doors that were closed to us before. Metal Gear predicted digital censorship, geoengineering, things like CRISPR, information control, the truth being manufactured. As previously stated, the echo chambers. Today we live in an age of disinformation, deepfake psyops, and the algorithm-driven reality of YouTube and social media. It's everywhere.
Raiden, are you receiving?
Who are you?
To begin with, we're not what you'd call human. Over the past 200 years, a kind of consciousness formed layer by layer in the crucible of the White House. It's not unlike the way life started in the oceans 4 billion years ago. The White House was our primordial soup, a base of evolution. We are formless. We are the very discipline and morality that Americans invoke so often. How can anyone hope to eliminate us? As long as this nation exists, so will we.
Cut the crap! If you're immortal, why would you take away individual freedoms and censor the net?
Jack, don't be silly.
Don't you know that our plans have your interests, not ours, in mind?
What?
Jack, listen carefully, like a good boy.
The mapping of the human genome was completed early this century. As a result, the evolutionary log of the human race lay open to us.
We started with genetic engineering, and in the end, we succeeded in digitizing life itself.
But there are things not covered by genetic information.
What do you mean?
Human memories, ideas, culture, history.
Genes don't contain any record of human history.
Is it something that should not be passed on? Should that information be left at the mercy of nature?
We've always kept records of our lives, through words, pictures, symbols, from tablets to books.
But not all the information was inherited by later generations. A small percentage of the whole was selected and processed, then passed on. Not unlike genes, really.
That's what history is, Jack.
But in the current digitized world, trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness, never fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
All this junk data, preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
Right. You seem to think that our plan is one of censorship.
Are you telling me it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Create context.
The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths. Just look at the strange juxtapositions of morality around you.
Billions spent on new weapons in order to humanely murder other humans.
Rights of criminals are given more respect than the privacy of their victims.
Although there are people suffering in poverty, huge donations are made to protect endangered species. Everyone grows up being told the same thing.
Be nice to other people.
But beat out the competition.
You're special. Believe in yourself and you will succeed.
But it's obvious from the start that only a few can succeed.
You exercise your right to freedom, and this is the result. All rhetoric to avoid conflict and protect each other from hurt. The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue to churn and accumulate in the sandbox of political correctness and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger forum. They stay inside their little ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large.
The different cardinal truths neither clash nor mesh. No one is invalidated, but nobody is right.
Not even natural selection can take place here. The world is being engulfed in truth.
And this is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but a whimper.
We're trying to stop that from happening.
It's our responsibility as rulers. Just as in genetics, unnecessary information and memory must be filtered out to stimulate the evolution of the species.
And you think you're qualified to decide what's necessary and not?
Absolutely. Who else could wade through the sea of garbage you people produce, retrieve valuable truths, and even interpret their meaning for later generations?
That's what it means to create context.
I'll decide for myself what to believe and what to pass on.
But is that even your own idea?
Or something Snake told you.
That's the proof of your incompetence right there. You lack the qualifications to exercise free will.
That's not true. I have the right.
Does something like a self exist inside of you?
That which you call self serves as nothing more than a mask to cover your own being.
In this era of ready-made truths, self is just something used to preserve those positive emotions that you occasionally feel.
Another possibility is that self is a concept you conveniently borrowed under the logic that it would endow you with some sense of strength.
That's crap!
Is it? Would you prefer that someone else tell you? All right then. Explain it to him.
Jack, you're simply the best, and you got there all by yourself.
Oh, what happened? Do you feel lost? Why not try a bit of soul-searching?
Don't think you'll find anything, though.
Ironic that although self is something that you yourself fashioned, every time something goes wrong, you turn around and place the blame on something else.
It's not my fault. It's not your fault.
In denial, you simply resort to looking for another, more convenient truth in order to make yourself feel better.
Leaving behind in an instant the so-called truth you once embraced.
Should someone like that be able to decide what is truth?
Should someone like you even have the right to decide?
You've done nothing but abuse your freedom.
You don't deserve to be free.
We're not the ones smothering the world. You are.
The individual is supposed to be weak, but far from powerless. A single person has the potential to ruin the world.
And the age of digitized communication has given even more power to the individual. Too much power for an immature species.
Building a legacy involves figuring out what is wanted and what needs to be done for that goal. All this you used to struggle with. Now we think for you.
We are your guardians, after all.
You want to control human thought? Human behavior?
Of course. Anything can be quantified nowadays. That's what this exercise was designed to prove.
You fell in love with me just as you were meant to, after all. Isn't that right, Jack?
Ocelot was not told the whole truth, to say the least.
We rule an entire nation. Of what interest would a single soldier, no matter how able, be to us?
The S3 plan does not stand for solid snake simulation. What it does stand for is selection for societal sanity.
Kojima wasn't just making a game, he was writing a warning to us. And we didn't see it then. But I pray that in the future, we don't take things like this or messages like this for granted. This man literally is like a prophet of our age. It's crazy. Metal Gear Solid was released in 2001, the same year that the world changed forever. And maybe that timing wasn't just coincidence. Think about it. Is there a network secretly behind everything that's shared, and maybe some people can tap into that network and get information that they otherwise wouldn't be able to grasp? Maybe that's something that happened with Kojima, because think about it. He's making all of these games like Death Stranding. The year he released Death Stranding, we literally got to experience a world where we couldn't communicate, where we couldn't interact with one another. During the COVID years, that game was it was so prophetic. This is where Portals and Parables goes deeper. If the world is guided by hidden hands, whether the Patriots in Metal Gear or the corporations and intelligence agencies of our world, then what do we do? The Bible says in Ephesians 6 and 12, "For we wrestle not against the flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." This sounds like, since the beginning of time, this type of government or the secret hand that controls things has always been there. What Kojima calls the Patriots, Scripture calls principalities and powers. Different names, same reality. And maybe that's why these stories resonate so deeply with us. Because on some level, we know we're not as free as we think we are. So here's the question. If the truth itself can be manipulated, how do we know what's real, who we can trust, and who is in charge? And also, which may be most importantly, what are their end goals for us? Are we just cannon fodder for a political agenda or a spiritual agenda that we don't have a part in or play in? Are we just pawns on the chessboard moving as the secret hand designates the next place we're placed before we inevitably get chopped off the board? Drop your thoughts in the comments, but be careful because once you step through this portal, you may never see the world the same way again.